Attached to your agenda item, you have the two design options. And so we're going to do this similar to the way you do your board appointments. As Mr. Alford calls the roll, you tell us whether you want perforated or scalloped, and whatever option gets the most votes is what you're going with.
Okay.
I have a question about that. Is that normal for resolutions? Because, I mean, an agenda item or like an approval for somebody is not a.
The resolution specifically says you have chosen option fill in the blank, whichever one you choose.
Very good. Thank you. This is a public hearing. Is there any input from the public on this item?
I want to see that.
Please come forward. Seeing none, public input closed. Commission discussion.
Yeah.
Commissioner Fesik?
I'm trying to find that exact space where she mentioned it's just that it's written that way, each one of the two. I think we've had this conversation. I'm sorry, do you have something to say? You want to add? Oh, okay, I'm just checking. I think we've had this conversation that we would like to, and look, it's beautiful. We've talked about how beautiful it is. But the thing is it serving the needs? And if we approve this, then what's going to happen is we're going to spend more money to tell the designers to move forward with creating all the plans that are going to be this particular building, which means we're going to be spending more money towards this particular design before we have had the conversation again, is this what we really want to see? And it's been shoved down our throats, and I will say that. I've said it in April, I said it in May, I said it in June, I said it yesterday, I said it today. I'll say it again probably until we decide to have that conversation. I don't want to throw good money after bad. And this is a beautiful design, and we've talked a lot about things, but there's a few things that still don't make sense. And if we're at a standstill, I'd rather kind of make sure that we get it right before we approve a design. I think it's irresponsible of us to do that when there's money behind that. There is a fiscal impact. So it's not listed correct. So I just moved to strike it.
Seconded.
Moved and second to strike. Let's call the roll.
Commissioner Fesik?
Strike, yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Sigerson-Eaton?
No.
Commissioner Smith? No. Vice Mayor Fournier?
Yes.
Mayor Harden?
No. Very good. Back on
I have a question.
Commissioner Sigerson-Eaton.
Yes, so we've already approved that we're moving forward with the new downtown, or rather new city hall, last June. So that is actually happening. That has not been derailed, and we need to choose a design so we can move forward. Is that correct? Can I ask the lawyers?
Correct. Yes,
Yeah.
we're legally obligated under the development agreement to select a city hall. It's our obligation to do so. There have been multiple meetings, numerous meetings with the developer, with the architects, numerous renderings, and now we're down to what has come to the final to design. We're giving commissioners the option and opportunity to pick which of the two they like better. That's what's on the agenda. That's what the resolution says. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. That's what I thought. So, yeah.
Okay. Further commission discussion? I got Vice Mayor.
Yeah, I have follow-up questions on that. Let's just say, and hypothetically speaking, I hated both of these and all of my input had been ignored and I wanted to say, no, I'm not happy with either of these designs. What would I vote?
You select one of the designs at this time. That's a hypothetical. That's not relevant to this situation. What if that were the case?
Option
we wouldn't
3?
have this before you at this time. This is an opportunity to vote on which design you like. If you waive that right, that is your determination to waive that right. But the rest, we will go with the greater number of votes for design 1 or design 2 tonight.
Okay, so if I don't like either of them, I would vote for design 3?
And effectively waive your right to vote for design 1 or design 2 and have no say in the final selected design. That would be your decision, Commissioner.
Understood.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you.
Very good. Further commission discussion? Commissioner Fesik.
Okay, so who wrote this resolution?
Staff.
No, I didn't ask. I was asking legal, right? You both did. Okay, so you both wrote this resolution. You both assisted in the MDA that was approved in June. I think we all agree that we are moving forward with a city hall complex, this whole project. We know that we are locked into that. When I had my conversations back in April and with our developer team at Roker Point, they had very clearly said that if the commission was open to it, or if we had agreed and we were able to work together, that all we had committed to was square footage. And it's like civic use space, that we had, committed to a certain amount of square footage, and it was effectively named City Hall, but if we wanted to change it, we could potentially do so through an amendment. They were more concerned about the square footage and the anchor and the opportunity to sell the downtown, area it didn't have to be anchored with necessarily City Hall. It could have been, they had other ideas in other places they've done, and they were pretty good ones. It could be a combo. It could be a lot of different things. We have said since the very first time we saw this, I know I have, and I've heard it from a lot of my residents. I've heard it from other commissioners, that even up till last week, that this still needed to be, even though this was pretty, it's a pretty picture, right? But right now it's a pretty picture. I think it's misleading that it says fiscal impact is none here, and it's wrong. So there is a fiscal impact. I would like to know, Ms. Sybil, maybe you can tell me how much money would be spent based on what option we choose. What is the financial expenditure once those drawings start going to the architects?
So the total cost for City Hall is $70.6 million. That's what's in the budget, approved by the City Commission as part of the lease cap. The design costs, I believe, through HOK is about $6.9 million. In all, we've already started to incur those costs to get to this point, to this substantial plan after the developer has met with each of you several times to gain your input, culminating in the workshop on October 20th. And I thought there was consensus based on them meeting with all of you and getting feedback and tweaking the plan and adjusting the landscaping. And ultimately, it came down to the design of the chambers. And we had a few commissioners that liked the perforated on the right, and we had a lot of commissioners that liked the scalloped on the left, hence the two options you have before you. So this does not have a fiscal impact because we already considered an item earlier for the bonding, but obviously we are right now spending money on design costs because we do have cash on hand that was approved as part of the development agreement back in June.
So would it be responsible as a city or to write this way and say that there's no fiscal impact when if we push the little needle forward, right? And then we would incur additional costs when even at that same meeting, all of us had simply said, or several of us had simply said, yes, this is nice, but is it right? Is it going to serve the community? Is it what we need? Should it be changed? Should we look at other options? I know that has been said so many times, and getting us to say, oh yeah, that looks nice, is different than having us push it forward at taxpayer expense. I think that this is wrong. I think that this is not, the way that this is written is wrong. I choose option 3 because I think that I'm not willing to spend taxpayer money on something, and it shouldn't come down to we'll just go with the number. Is there a quorum on this? Would that, would have to go that direction? I mean, how can anybody from a legal standpoint or financial standpoint put this on the agenda like this without, 1, listing a fiscal impact, and 2, hearing what was said over and over and over again? Why would you put us between a rock and a hard place? Thanks.
Very good. Further commission discussion? Seeing none, okay, when your name is called, indicate your preference, option 1 or option 2. Just go ahead and call the roll.
Commissioner Fesik,
3.
Commissioner Perkins,
Option 1.
Commissioner Sigerson-Eaton,
Option 1.
Commissioner Smith,
Option 1.
Vice Mayor Fournier,
Option 1.
Mayor Harton.
Option 1.